Hi guys, Nicole Kernohan here, holistic life and mindset coach. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 tips to help reduce emotional eating. Emotional eating could be boredom. It could be stress or anxiety, but it could even be joy and excitement. All of these emotions, even boredom, can lead us to unconsciously reach for the refrigerator or the cupboard and consume things that are typically not good for our health and can make us gain weight, can make us feel lethargic, can make us feel tired, and are just not optimal for our health and immune system in general. Okay, so really quickly, I do want to say I understand that we're going through a very difficult global time, and give yourself a little bit of love. Don't be too hard on yourself, but take these tips and apply them to the best of your ability if they resonate with you and you're ready to do so. Okay, so the first 2 actually are from James Clear. He's the author of a book called Atomic Habits. And the first one is simply to make the unhealthy foods and snacks difficult to access. Put them in the back of the fridge or the basement freezer or a cupboard in the basement instead of on your countertop. A really quick example, my son and I made a bit healthier, but peanut butter oatmeal cookies yesterday. And we did exactly the opposite of what I just suggested. We put them in a lovely little Tupperware container right on the counter, clear, you could see them. So every time you walk in the kitchen, you see the lovely container of peanut butter cookies. That is what not to do if you want to avoid unconscious emotional eating. Because you just open it up and have a quick bite. It's, you can do it without even thinking, and you think about it afterwards. Now, I'm not saying to never eat those treats. Obviously, we made them, but just to make it a conscious decision where you're going to have that treat, so that you don't find yourself at the bottom of the peanut butter cookie jar, in 3 days, simply because they were right in front of your eyes. Okay, so the first tip is make the unhealthy snacks difficult to access. Basement, high cupboard, hard to reach, out of sight. And if you want them, you have to make a conscious decision to go retrieve them. Okay, the second tip is basically the opposite of that. Make the healthy foods and snacks easy to see and easy to access. Have your fruits and veggies nicely washed and cleaned. Have veggies chopped in the front of the refrigerator. Have hummus available. Have a nice jar of almonds on your counter instead of peanut butter cookies. So make those healthy things right in front of your eyes, easy to access, easy to consume. If you do get hungry, if you feel nibbly, you can grab those things first as your first choice. And watch that effect on your family as well. Because when the healthy foods are easy to access, they're going to be easy to access for everyone, which is an incredible gift to help the whole family get a little bit healthier. Okay, my third tip is actually moving into a bit more of the emotion side, like digging into your own emotions. And this is something that everyone should do every day, always, forever, anyway. But if you want to help address emotional eating, then let's tackle a shift in your emotions. Renee, her name is, I forget her last name, sorry. But there's a woman, she's a weight loss expert, Renee Jones, that's it, Renee Jones. And she has this hilarious quote where she says, face your stuff, don't stuff your face. So tip number 3 is to create positive emotions through writing a gratitude list. Every single day, writing down at least 3 things you're grateful for. This may or may not seem connected to your eating, but I promise you it will change how you feel. And when you change how you feel, you change your actions. And when you change your actions and take healthier actions, you're changing the results in your life and in your health. So writing down 3 things you're grateful for every single day as a basic first step. I do a lot of work in gratitude, and there's a lot of layers and complexity that can be brought into that. But for now, if you're new to this, just write down 3 things every single day and change up the list. And they try to make them pretty specific as well, like specific details of something that you're grateful for. Okay, tip number 4 is actually to allow your emotions. So one misconception sometimes about going to the positive, like practicing gratitude, for example, is that we are basically just pushing away all the negative emotions and only looking at the positive things. Okay, so tip number 4 is to actually allow your negative emotions, allow them to be seen, allow yourself to be aware, like don't necessarily ignore them, especially right now. And we're not taught how to deal with a global pandemic, and everyone is experiencing it differently through their lives, through their circumstances, and through their emotions. So just allow yourself to say, okay, I am feeling this way. And when you can see it, that's kind of goes back to Renee's quote, face your stuff instead of stuffing your face. When you can at least see it and see it's there and say it's okay to feel sad for a little bit right now. It's okay to feel whatever you are feeling. Maybe you're not feeling those things, but allow yourself to feel those things and then be aware of them so that you can find other ways to address those emotions through gratitude, through exercise, through being and communicating, interacting with friends and family from a distance, but find other ways to address those emotions. Okay. Tip number 5 is remember, this is another emotional one. So the tip number 3, 4, and 5 are emotional levels, but number 5 is to remember your why. Remember your purpose. When we get into unconscious eating, where we're just eating a tub of peanut butter cookies or something, everyone's going to want peanut butter cookies after this video. Sorry, guys. But when we get into a behavior where we're kind of like eating and not caring and not thinking about it before we take that action, we've lost sight of our why. We've lost sight of ourselves, of our purpose, of like a deeper reason for why we want to make healthier choices. We have to really dig into this idea of our why. Like who needs you to be healthy right now? Who needs you to have energy and be feeling your best? Who in your life needs you? Why do you yourself need to be working towards being the healthiest version of yourself at this time? And just really kind of dig in and reflect. And when you're reflecting on your why, you may toggle into gratitude as well, because you're kind of thinking about the people, the circumstances, the things that you're working towards in your life, and that you have right now, and really acknowledging those things. Okay. So number 5 was remember your why, not just a specific goal, but really why it's important to you to be healthy, and try to reflect on that and remember that purpose, that why, before you jump into the refrigerator. Number 7 and 8, 6 and 7, these last 2 are actually nutrition tips. So we're going to change gears from the emotion. And number 6 is a practical food recommendation to help so that you don't have as many cravings, so that your blood sugar is more stabilized. And that is simply to eat protein at every meal and snack throughout the day, and healthy fats as well, and some fiber. So protein, fats, fiber, these are the kinds of things that stabilize your blood sugar, that keep you full longer, that don't give you that spike and crash that like a piece of chocolate cake would. These are the things that stabilize you. When you're not feeling starving, your blood sugar is more stable, your energy is more stabilized by eating healthy fats and proteins and some fiber throughout the day. You're less likely to be starving or craving the unhealthy foods. Okay. So just making sure that you're having those throughout the day, trying not to get to a point of being over hungry, because when you're over hungry, it leads to bad decisions. It leads to the fastest thing that you can find to fill the hunger pain. So we don't want to get over hungry. Eating healthy proteins, healthy fats, fibers throughout the day can help reduce that. And when I say throughout the day, it's going to be different. There's many different diet plans and meal plans. I personally typically eat breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner. So I typically will have 4 portions, but that's another conversation for another day. The last one I'm going to give you on tips to manage emotional eating is also in the nutrition category, and that is to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, my friends. Stay hydrated. Did you know that your body is like, I forget the exact number, 90% water? If we don't consume liquids, we would literally stiffen right up and just be a full like solid. We need fluid to absorb nutrients, to flush out toxins, to allow our joints to move. But from an emotional eating perspective, it does a couple of things. One is often hunger can be mistaken for actually being thirsty. So it can prevent the food craving by actually, because you might be dehydrated, might be the true cause. It also is dehydration is one of the leading causes of fatigue. When you're tired, you're more likely to want food because carbohydrates are the fastest thing to give you energy. But you might be tired because you're dehydrated. You might be tired for a lot of other reasons as well. But if dehydration is part of the puzzle, it's going to make everything worse. So just stay hydrated, try to drink, it's going to be different for each person depending on your activity level, your age, your circumstance, but maybe a couple liters of water would be a great amount as a base, quite a lot. But yeah, drink water throughout the day. No, coffee doesn't count. If you have coffee, you actually need water to replace the dehydration effect of the coffee. So we're talking about water, perhaps herbal teas, like natural things like that. But for the most part, trying to get water and watery vegetables like cucumbers and celeries and watermelon. There are watery foods that can help with that hydration as well. Okay, so those are all the things I'm going to share today. 7 tips. Hope they were valuable. So a lot of stuff I just shared. Some are more practical, action-oriented. Some are more emotion and kind of dealing with the inner side of what's causing the emotional eating. But what I would suggest is try to pick maybe 2, perhaps maybe 3, but try to aim for like nailing down and saying, okay, 2 of these things really resonated with me the most, or things I think I can do right away, and try to implement 2 of these things. Out of all those things I said, do them all at some point if you'd like to, but to start with, try to commit yourself to 2. Anything more than that is if maybe setting yourself up to not be successful, because it might feel like it's too much to try to implement all of these 7 tips at one time. Okay, so pick the top 2 that resonate with you the most, that you feel like you're ready to do, and implement those 2 to start. And then after a week or 2, or if you feel like it's working and you're feeling stable, then you can come back and perhaps add some more of these behaviors into your plan. Okay, thank you so much. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your comments. If you have any other ideas or suggestions, please feel free to share your comments. Feel free to share the video. And if you're dealing with any other challenges in other areas of life, then definitely feel free to reach out and we can connect with using some of these strategies for other areas of life as well. Okay, talk to you soon.